You don't want to waste money on overpriced food places in Vancouver? Believe me, I've been there, and that's why I have created these 15 cheap eats in Vancouver, all from $20 to $25. And stick to the end because there's a little surprise that I will show you, which is a great addition to this list.
So let's start with the list of our cheap eats, and the first one is JapaDog. So here you have the whole overview of all the places I'm gonna mention. We have JapaDog here. It offers Japanese themed hot dogs. Let's see the page so you have a clear understanding what's going on here. Those are, as mentioned, Japanese styled hot dogs. They offer unique toppings like teriyaki, seaweed, and Japanese mayo. And the price range, as you see, is around 10 to 20 bucks for hot dogs. And they have been around for quite some time and are an iconic stop and the perfect grab and go in between sightseeing. The reviews are consistently well, although in the past or just more recently, some mentioned that prices have gone up while the size of the hot dogs declined. But we know inflation is real and prices on all the things on the list might even change in the future. So nothing is for granted, but we take it as long as we can. Now, second on the list is Joe's Italian Deli. Actually, one is over here and the other one is down here, if I'm not mistaken. So they have also several places. It's an Italian deli sandwiches and deli plates. It's very well known, has tons of great reviews and offers massive portions with an authentic feel. And let me show you what can expect you. And I mean, come on, that looks amazing. Even some mentioned that they split their sandwiches when they go as together there, so two people share one sandwich, which says quite a lot about their value and how well filled these sandwiches are, so you really get your tummy filled, which is a great hint. Talking about pricing, the regular prices are around $10 to $14, at least for the sandwiches. Similar for the plates. So I haven't been to all these places and restaurants I mentioned on this list personally, and that is with intention. What I've done instead is I went through reviews, analyzed pages, Instagram posts. I follow Eat Vancouver, for example, or Curiosity Vancouver, and I went through some menus, options, and recommendations to find these cheap eats using my remote first research system that we also use for our 2-month trip. This means it's all about smart planning and not just random guessing. With that, you get to these nice places and also find places that you pay less. So let's move on. Next on the list is Mumu Kitchen. That is actually in West End, a region of Vancouver. It is known as a Korean comfort food, known for its kimchi rice dishes, but also for the Korean fried chicken. Signature items are the cheese kimchi fried rice and the fried chicken, of course. Average spend is between $25 up to $45. But also here, if you take a look at their Instagram page, what you see here, that just looks mouth-watering, delicious. If I could, I would teleport myself right over there, to be honest. It looks amazing, and we might gonna take a stop this year on our 2-month trip. Also, Mumu Kitchen has a ton of great feedback and reviews. It's predictable, it's efficient, good Korean comfort food, and it's perfect for families, especially if you want to share dishes so that everybody can try something from the other menu. And it's something safe and reliable, but although when we take into consideration that this one is on the list a bit on the upper end, but still with around 25 bucks you get quite a lot out of it and you don't need to rob a bank. Fourth on the list, let's move on to Sabina Mexican food, which I had to replace. To be honest, there was another location that was famous for tacos, so similar style of food, but they're gonna close soon, so I wanted to know the next best place with Mexican dishes, and I found Sabina Mexican food. It's in West Hastings, offers Mexican cuisine, obviously. It has authentic dishes with strong local reviews. Appetizers are around $8 to $20, and tacos are around $15 to $22, and also the main dishes. And if you want real Mexican flavored or place with real Mexican flavored dishes, then this is the go-to place. And the great thing is you get great dishes without the inflated tourist pricing, and it shows consistent, strong feedback. If you go through the list here, you get to know what I mean. And I would say from what I see here, it's a solid pricing for solid and good big portions actually. And I bet my wife and my youngest daughter would easily be able to share one burrito just for the two of them. So fair pricing, good value. Now we move on to the next spot on the list, and that's one I'm really curious to find out more. So for that I need to move myself again, move the map up, and we are in close to Metrotown. And Bones is a barbecue smokehouse, and we love smoked meat, to be honest. And I even heard that people that are not barbecue fans rate this place very highly, and I'm gonna show you in a second why. So you get all the classic stuff from brisket, the ribs, burgers, pulled pork, whatever your barbecue heart desires. And it's a great place for comfort food. And I found this place actually on the Deep Cove Instagram page when I scrolled through, and they said it's a hidden gem bit. Hidden, indeed, by word, hidden. And if you're similar as to us, that's gonna be a must-see place. It's price-wise, it is somewhat be from $5 to $34. Ribs around 16, half brisket around 20. So it's again one on the list that is a bit on the higher end, but still not that high-end restaurant pricing. So which is great. And there's a ton of things that it can have. And there's also family platter. I was wondering if I can find it right here, but I have checked it out on the menu. No, I guess it's that one over here. And I mean, come on, that looks just mouth-watering. So definitely on the list for our trip this year. Then we're going fast. We're going to beast roast ramen. So now I've got a beast roast beef ramen. There we go. And what do you get there? Of course, ramen. It is in Bute Street, downtown Vancouver, and you pay around $18 to $20 for ramen dishes. And of course, if you want to have something in addition, you pay a bit more. But it's actually a rare thing to find comfort food around $20 in downtown Vancouver. That's really a rare find. I already hear my daughter talking into my ears, because she has this obsession this year that she needs to find and taste each ramen place. And I'm certainly sure that that would be a great place to visit. Come on, so many great places we have to do this year. It's getting crowded. Anyway, check out their Instagram page and check out their menus. It looks really delicious and another great spot to see and visit. As mentioned, it is downtown Vancouver, so you can easily reach that place without any car, just by foot. What would be a visit to Vancouver without the great brunch spot? And there are a ton of brunch places. And if you're in a hotel, you probably don't want to have breakfast at that place, because A, it is expensive, B, not as good as you would go to a family-owned restaurant. And for that, we go to Northern Cafe, which is also quite a well-known, not really, but it's an institution, family-owned. It offers a mix of classic breakfast, burgers, and Asian-inspired dishes. And it's not that expensive either, so it's around $15 to $26, and is indeed a bit hidden. It is in South Vancouver, and if I'm not mistaken, when you get there, it's on an industrial side, and you have to go up the second floor. See, that's the entrance. You would never find this place if you wouldn't have heard of it. That place is known for its large portions, so if you talk about portion to price ratio, that one is really strong. It offers also good sit-down meal options, and if you're exploring something outside of downtown, that's the place to go. Let's move on. I don't want to waste any time here to place number 8, which is the Red Umbrella Coffee in West End. So the Red Umbrella Coffee, that's one of our favorite places as well, because you get all day breakfast, brunch, and sandwiches. It offers lunch combos and breakfast classics. It is probably some of the food options are a bit more expensive, and some you only get on weekends. Anyway, price wise, it's between $15 and $25. And if we head over to there you go, the page, you see some of the dishes they offer, and believe me, that is a great place to go. We have been there each single time we've been in Vancouver because we love it so much. It's fresh food, freshly made, based on from local ingredients, and get their stuff from local farmers. That's what I wanted to say, if that makes sense. But it's fresh, it's homemade, and it is just awesome. What I've experienced over the years is that the ratings have a bit varied over time. Sometimes it was almost at the 5, sometimes it's as low as with 4.4, but I must admit, we always had consistently great breakfast, and for me, that's one that stands out in Vancouver. So a solid breakfast under $25. And now we move over to the next spot on the list, to Irish House. That one is in Surrey, not in Vancouver. And now let me move again to this place side. So place number 9, it is an Irish pub, so you get also this Irish pub fare feeling. And what you get are typical happy hour deals and classic pub food, comfort food, but still great. And most meals are around $16 to $25. And it's a place if you just want something comfy in a great place that feels comfortable, and you just will look for some comfort food, this is one place that will give you that without the extra markup. And let me show you, they get some ideas based on their Instagram page, what it looks like, but also if you go through their homepage. The food looks solid, delicious, and you don't pay much for what you get. We move on to one of our favorites on this list. That is the Downlow Chicken Shacks. A great place to go. It's all about chicken, if you haven't heard that out of the name. And it offers this Nashville-inspired hot chicken, fried chicken in sandwich forms, or just as a big chicken nugget thing box. We have been there the last time. It was amazing. It is super delicious, and you don't pay much for it. It's only around $15 to $19 depending what you take. And the hash sandwiches are huge. They have a strong local reputation. It's always filled, and that's something that the reviews also tell if you look and check it out. And it's one of the safest bets on the list. There's one in the UBC area and one over here. You only need to check out their Instagram page, and it already is mouth-watering in my point of view. And as you see, there are a ton of sandwich options, a lot of variety, and it's, believe me, it's great. And this is one of the things that I like so much about Vancouver, because you can get great food without being in a fancy restaurant with high and fine dining stuff. Sometimes you just need something like that, just down to earth, simple. I always say the simpler the better. Okay, let's move on to the next, which is 6 Acres. So 6 Acres is in downtown Vancouver, and it is in close to Gastown. It is on 203 Carroll Street. It's a pub fare type of restaurant with craft beer and small plates. Popular items are the parmesan fries and the chicken wings. And burgers are around $12.50 to $27. So depending what you take, also a bit on the higher end on this list. but still consistently positive feedback from locals, and that is always a good value indicator. And let me show you briefly where it is. So you saw it's here in Vancouver, in Gastown, and to give you some inspiration what the meals might look like. A lot of different type of foods. Also, if you want to be there with your family, you get a lot out of it. Then next on the list is the Hungry Sue's, which is also in downtown Vancouver. It's close to Waterfront Station. It's a spot with Mediterranean type of food, from bowls to wraps. You get a lot of options there, and they are price-wise also great. They range between $13 to $19, depending what you take. So it's a healthy option on this list because we have a lot of comfort food stuff. They're mostly not that healthy. But anyway, you get a healthy option without sacrificing value. And it's another compared to, also if you take from what I said to the JapaDog, if you're in between sightseeing sites, that's a great stop to take. For example, if you want to ride the bike and rent one, that might be a good option as a lunch. Let me show you briefly the Instagram page that I get some inspiration. You can all check them out afterwards. I have them all set up, so you don't need to look far. Having said that, let's get back. Here you get some great ideas, what it can look like, what are some of the bowls. Then maybe we see also wrap options, which look delicious. And so far from what I've read and saw, everybody was happy and satisfied with the food options. Now, only 3 places out, so let's talk about the Sing Sing restaurant. There are also multiple locations, one at Commercial Drive and the other one at Main Street. That one is a good example of the famous, or what makes Vancouver famous about fusion food. It offers modern Asian-inspired comfort food with po, pizzas and burgers, so you get everything in one spot. And for that, give you some inspirations on it. There it is, perfect. And they have creative dishes like 5-spice bolognese. That's probably not something an Italian should hear about. And then also the chicken katsu burger, for example. And it's definitely a trendier vibe, but still within budget. And it's also a great place if you see what you get. It's different type of foods. And definitely a place where it is crucial to try out new stuff, if you're curious as I am. Then, next on the list, there is no way you can go to Vancouver without trying a hot pot, which is actually in Metrotown. So let me move myself that I can have a clear picture. So there you go. Again, yes, perfect. Located in Metrotown, and it offers hot pots, obviously, but you can do it's a do-it-your-own hot pot style thing. And what do you do there? You pay you pay by weight. So you fill up your things that you want to have in your hot pot, and then it's going to be weighed how much it is, and this defines the price. And I would say it's between $15 to $20. And of course, if you want to save some money, you take less, meaning you pay less. That's probably something that strategic eaters will do. I give you an idea of what will expect you at this place. That is a great example of building up your hot pot with your ingredients, and then the broth will be added at a later point. So great option too. Definitely a must do if you go to Vancouver. And now, last but not least, we talk about the hidden gem. We have many hidden gems actually on this list, but that one is a bit trickier, and it's the Sukba. Hope I pronounced that one properly. So that one is in Surrey too, and that one is actually inside the Hello Market in Surrey. It offers Filipino grill and fried dishes, from chicken to barbecue skewers and silog breakfast. There are a lot of options you can choose from. But they have crispy plates and they have strong reviews. And you can have combo meals that are around $15 to $18. And they have a consistent price for value. It is just simple, reliable and affordable. And when we check their page, you indeed see it's a bit of a different touch. And let me show you a great impression. What is different? Yeah, you can see that you would probably have to go on Google to see a proper view on it, but also here, check it out. I have the homepage there. Check out on Google for some pictures, and you see that in a market. Of course, you can take the food also to go, but generally a good spot, great for budget, great for families, and definitely a place to try out. But before we come to the end, I have something more in addition that I want to show you, and that is the deep water micro eatery in Deep Cove. Definitely on our list here, the one that is also a bit on the upper end price wise. It probably is not possible to stay in the $20 to $25 bandwidth with that place, but it's a hidden gem in my point of view. It offers great value for what you get. And speaking about this, we personally got chicken, tacos, what else, burgers, but reviewers also mentioned halibut or salmon fish and chips, and some of them all even have mentioned that they got a 3-course meal for around $25, but I'm not certain if that is true. But definitely that's a place that is often overlooked. And we found that spot last time I've been in Canada, and we were well rewarded with it. Especially if you want to explore Deep Cove, that's the place to go in my point of view. It offers great value for your money. It's fresh, it's delicious, and it's a great place as well to take the food out with a doggy bag, because when you go to Deep Cove, you can bring the food down and sit at the beach and just enjoy during a sunset your food there as a family picnic option or lunch option maybe. And here you got some impressions. I don't have great pictures myself. I realized that at the later stage to show you, but it's actually a very cozy, nice spot, super friendly. And be aware, that's also why I mentioned the picnic thing. There's not a lot of space there. So that's might be something that you could consider, especially if you come with a bigger group. So an observation I made on this list going through was, it shows that downtown Vancouver has some great options, but the strongest value clusters are actually outside the downtown area, as you have seen with the Downlow Chicken Shack, for example, or Joe's Dailies. And they also show that you get a better portion to price ratio overall, but it's also something that didn't come as a surprise to me, as I always have expected it. That's also where the smart planning edge comes in. This is also another reason, actually, when I give travel advices to my customers, friends, families, to rent the car to get to these places by yourself. You could also take a taxi or the SkyTrain or even the bus, but you're just way more flexible in Vancouver. And that's one of the things that I've learned throughout the years. If you want to see Vancouver and want to get around, it's always great to rent a car. You could always rent, for example, at stations that are in a hotel and not at the airport, which sometimes gives you better value and better deals. The key takeaways definitely from this list is that you don't need to go through the top 10 list of restaurants. With structured research, you could land in Vancouver already knowing where you can eat, where you can sit down properly, where you can get quick lunch grabs. So when you are in between sightseeings, maybe you go to JapaDog, for example, and you also know where your money goes, especially if you are these family-owned restaurants, that you know where this money ends up and how you can support someone local and not just another restaurant chain. And if you want to see this kind of planning in a way in action, check the playlist with our 2-month trip that I'm currently planning and mapping out, where I also look at restaurants so that you can get an idea how I look at things and find them, and also with the same research-driven strategy that I use and have used successfully in the past, also with clients. And if you want exact templates of this list, click in the link below. And if you want to have even more information or a whole kit, let's say, check out my Western Canada travel kit that is also linked below. So basically what I'm all about is I want to do the research so you don't have to, and save you a lot of time and trouble without opening thousands of browser pages and tabs. And with that, see you in the next one.